podcast. I'm your host, DK, and today we have Mother K, my mom. I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Mother K, also known as K Aiken on Instagram.
So, we're going to get into the food because it's fooding. My mom made us a little breakfast this morning and some tea. What kind of tea is this, Mom?
This is tropical. It's tropical green tea.
Tropical green. I don't even know what this was.
That's a stir. That's not a spoon, diamond. I'm
turning my bougie up a little bit. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about. I want you to start from the beginning of time. Back when like you were younger, talk a little bit like how you were brought up.
You gotta elaborate a little bit more. How was I brought up?
Yeah. Like things that you remember like as a kid that may have led you to wanting to be an entrepreneur, wanting to be successful, even
I think for me, the biggest thing was growing up always being told what to do. Mm-hmm. That bothered me a lot. And it probably bothers most kids. But I just remember the way my mom brought us up. You know, of course your mom is always going to tell you what to do, but it was like always rules to everything. I mean, from the time Saturday morning, you get up in the morning, your nana would be in the kitchen cooking a pot of greens. And it was time for us to get up and start cleaning. Saturday and Sunday morning. She did not play that. So we were always up early Saturday and Sunday mornings, cleaning, washing clothes. I was responsible for doing all my sister's hair and stuff, getting them ready for the next school week. I think as I got a little bit older and start, going to different jobs and stuff, I realized it wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. I got tired of somebody telling me when to take a lunch break. I got to let them know that I'm running to the restroom. It was like I needed that freedom to be on my own time, if you understand. Like I kind of got tired of hearing, okay, you put a pile of papers on my desk and I'm responsible to do this for the day. Right. And it's like at the end of the day, you're looking at it like, okay, where's the work that I gave you? Mm-hmm. I like to be on my own time, so I think that's more so what kind of guided me into becoming an entrepreneur, because I got tired of rules and people telling me what to do. Mm-hmm. So now I do my own thing.
If you could remember, I know a lot of girls my age have parents who always have these crazy, like, not even their parents. I have a lot of girls my age that have like struggle stories, and I actually don't remember a struggle. Me or Peanut, we don't remember a struggle that we had as children. Did you have struggles as children? Like as a child?
I did. I can honestly say I did. My mother was, I'm going to say, one of the best mothers ever. Because even when I knew that she was struggling, she tried not to let us know that she was struggling. Mm-hmm. See, I come from a different era. I come from the food stamp era.
What do you mean the food stamp era?
I mean the food stamp era when it was in the paper. It was in a book of paper.
Oh, it used to be a paper?
Yeah, it was no card. It was a book that looks like paper money, where she used to snatch it out the book and send you to the store with it. And back then, they was embarrassed to use food stamps. So I wait till everybody leave out the store to get what I want. I want that Captain Crunch cereal, but I'm gonna wait till I walk around the store like I'm looking for something before I spend that food stamp. Child, now if somebody can give me some food stamps, I'm like, I'll buy them. Let me get them. I don't care how much money I make. If you got some food stamps, I want them. Getting back to that, like, we was in the era where we stood in line for a block of cheese. Y'all ain't know nothing about that.
What do you mean stood in line?
Like there was a line that the government used to give this cheese. It was like a block of cheese. They give you milk. The milk was powdered milk. You had to mix it with water for your cereal. That's the era I come from. They give you rice. They give you beans. We never wanted to eat the beans, but if mama cooked them, that's what we was going to eat. Uh-huh. But that block of cheese, girl, that was the best grilled cheese ever. Y'all know nothing about that. But that was the struggle era. I think it was just regular cheddar cheese. It was a big orange block that was thick. Some of y'all can relate. I know y'all can relate. And she used to go home and she make macaroni and cheese. She slice it up. She put it in grilled cheese. Our grilled cheese wasn't the kind of grilled cheese y'all had. Our grilled cheese was a slice of bread and you put a thick piece of cheese on top of it and you put it under the broiler and put it under the broiler. There was no bread on top. That was our grilled cheese.
Now I'm just saving bread.
Listen, you had to do what you had to do. She was a single parent for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went through some struggles. It was times when I wanted name brand sneakers and I knew my mom couldn't afford it. We went to pay less and favor. I didn't get my first pair of name brand sneakers until I was in high school at Overbrook, 9th grade. That's when I got my first pair of Reeboks.
And that was the name brand that you got?
Reeboks. Girl, I was so happy to have them Reeboks. Listen. And then when I was able to get more colors, I had the purple, I had the red, I had the orange, I had the white. But yeah, we were broke. We didn't have a lot.
Do you remember having... So, you were like a young mom. A teen mom.
Yeah.
So, do you remember having struggles as being a teen mom? Like, you know how like people don't understand it? Most kids don't understand what their mom be going through, but then when they become a mom, they be like, hold on, this is like real.
I can't really say I struggled as much being a teen mom because I had a good support system.
Mm-hmm.
I had your nana who always babysat, always kept you. Of course, your grandmother Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, your father was phenomenal. I can't say that I ever met a man before that did the things that he did. Being as though I was young and I was 8 years younger than him, he understood the fact that I was a teen mom, but I still wanted to go out and do my thing. Yeah. He used to tell me, you know, oh, you want to go to the club, you want to party, you want to do this, you want to do that. Just make sure her bottles is done, yours, Peanuts. Make sure the bottles are done, make sure you lay the Pampers out. And he would stay home and watch you guys while I went out.
Today's niggas would never.
No. these new breed of men. Shout out to Andre. He definitely was good. He held it down, and for the most part, he held down a lot actually, because I didn't work when I was pregnant with you. I didn't work when I was pregnant with Peanut. He took care of all the bills in the house and made sure everything was okay, and let me go to school to get my first bachelor's degree from Drexel University. Mm-hmm. So he held it down. You know what I mean? He definitely held it down for us. So I can't say I struggled like that. It could have been worse, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. So, of course, things now are not like how things even were back then. That was like almost 27 years ago now. So.
I'm telling my age. So. She talking about 27. I'm only 35.
How are you 35? I must be 27.
All right, well, I'm 37.
Yeah, man, this is crazy.
Do the math.
This is crazy. So I know things are not like how it was then. Would you think like, cause you know some people, even though it was not a struggle, but you know how like when you get more, and it's like even back then you may have one of the things that you have now. Do you think that was a struggle just because you couldn't you know what I'm saying, over exceed to get those things? Or
honestly, back then my mind frame was totally different than it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So the things that I have now, I don't even think I even thought about having back then, honestly. And I'm so grateful for the things that I do have now. But when I look at when I look at my home, when I look at my cars, when I look at my bank account, when I look at the things that I have now versus back then, I was a whole different person back then. So my wants and needs were very different.
Right.
When I was younger versus now. You know, back then I was just happy to go get a brand new Toyota.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I wouldn't, I just did a Toyota in 2014. I'm not saying that. But it's like for me to walk on the showroom floor and pick out which Mercedes I want with no issue. Mm-hmm. Things are just different now,
Yeah. It's crazy that you say that because I don't know why growing up, I just always felt like y'all was just already like rich.
I think a lot of...
Like we may not have had big houses, but of course we lived in a row house. But on a block, it was like, we knew everybody. So we've been in all the houses. It was like, no shade to my friends that lived on the block, but our house was the best one. Like, we had the nice furniture. Back then, it wasn't really flat screen TVs on the wall. Right. It was the flat screens with the big butt in the bed.
Right.
We was the only one with the big butt in the bed. Everybody else had their TV, little TV sitting on the thing. We had the flat screen with the big butt in the bed. Every time somebody wanted to have like a movie night, action, mom and dad, can we come over? We used to always, like, you know what I'm saying? Our house was the it house, like. We had everything. I just felt like,
I think for me as a parent, like I used to have these conversations with your dad all the time. Like, I want my children to have everything, and he always used to tell me, you cannot give them everything because you're setting them up for failure. And at the time, I didn't understand what he meant by that, but I definitely understand it now. It's like if you constantly keep giving a child everything, they're going to feel that entitlement, and once they get older, they realize when they step out into the world, there are going to be some no's.
Yeah,
everything's not going to come to you the way mom and dad gave it to you. So I understood it, but I can't say I went by it because I just remember always making sure that you and Peanut had before I had. Like, I remember when you guys were going to Lamberton, and I went and got y'all Toryburg flats.
Ooh.
And
when she say Toryburg flats, she don't mean a pair or two. Literally used to come in the house with every color Toryburg flat. In the beginning of summer, every pair of Tory Burch sandals.
I know, right?
The little matching bags.
But I never let y'all know when I didn't have it. I just tried to make sure I always provided. And even if provided for y'all, even if that means that I went without. I might have said, all right, I'm not getting my hair and nails done, or, you know, I'm not going to get this for myself right now. And I ain't gonna lie, it's been times when I might have said, which kind of was probably irresponsible, I'm going to skip this bill this month and let it double up next month because I'm going to make sure that they got this, that, and the third.
I remember this one time, school was getting ready to start. I was starting 8th grade. Or was I starting 6th? I don't know. It was 8th or 6th. But you wanted me and Peanut to have these Gucci book bags for school. And you was talking to my dad like, they need these. And I remember that was the first time I ever really heard y'all like argue a little bit. He was like, why do they need a Gucci book bag for school? You was like, because they need it. Because they need it. You was like, are you going to get it for them? Because they going to get it regardless. They going to get it regardless. And I don't know what the outcome was. All I know was that first day at school, we had a Gucci book bag.
Yes. So this is the thing. Your dad was never materialistic. He never was into like name brand stuff. He really didn't care about any of that. And not saying that I was so much, but I don't know. I think I felt like I needed to give my kids more because I didn't have. It was so many things that I felt like I lacked. And no shade to my mom, because my mom was a phenomenal mother. Yeah. She did everything that she could during that time. Yeah. But I felt like everything that I didn't have, I had to make sure my girls had it. They had to have the best sneaks. They had to have name brand clothes. They had to have name brand book bags. I just wanted so much for y'all. And it's like me and your dad used to bump heads a lot about that because he just was on something else. And he wasn't feeling what I was feeling. But I used to tell him all the time, all right, if you're not,
got a book bag,
they gonna get it. He would have went to Walmart or House of Bargains or somewhere to go to Value City and get any kind of book bag.
What is that book bag called? I don't even know. That's a shame. That's how you...
JanSport.
Yes. He kept saying something about a JanSport. He was like, they even got a pink one. Yeah. They got a pink one. I said, I want the Gucci one. Peanut was more like, I don't care.
Peanut didn't care.
I don't care. I'm like, you tripping. I want the Gucci one.
And then like when we would take y'all out to go shopping for like sneakers, he like, why do they gotta get 3 pair of sneakers a piece? Can't they just start off with a pair? No.
My dad said, how many feet they got?
How many feet they got? Exactly. Then that's how he was, but it was like, I just wanted so much more for my kids. Like I thought about when I was younger, I only had 1 pair of sneakers for a while. You know, until my mom and dad could get me another pair, and I wore them every day. I had a pair of sneakers and a pair of shoes and maybe some boots. But it was like I really didn't have much to like try to match things up with these 1 pair of good sneakers. Right. Like, come on.
Me and Peanut used to be able to put out our whole outfit for the first week of school with a different pair of shoes.
And that's why, and this is the reason why I said I have to do more for my kids, way more than what I had myself. And it wasn't so much of wanting to spoil you, but I just felt like I know what I wanted, and I know I didn't have it because my parents really couldn't afford it. So I felt like, okay, I gotta make it up to them.
But one thing I don't think that you realize is, if you didn't introduce that to us, I don't think that we would have been like that. We went to a public school. Mm-hmm. Majority of the kids was not like that. You wasn't wearing different shoes every single day and stuff like that. Now it wasn't like we went to a public school like a crazy one. You know, that was a good school to go to. Right. But everybody that was there, it was like, they wasn't doing it, wearing it every single day, like it wasn't like that. So I don't think if you introduced us to, I want to say luxury. If you didn't introduce us to that, we wouldn't have known. We wouldn't have been missing nothing.
But honestly, what's funny is when I look at you and Peanut now, Peanut still don't care about it.
Like, I bought Peanut a Rolex.
And I bought her a pair of red bottom shoes for her birthday.
She just wore them.
Once. This was 2 years ago.
I bought her the Rolex when you bought her the shoes 2 years ago. She never wore it.
She still doesn't care about that. She gets that from me.
She don't care. Peanut just have a time. She got a shot. She don't need a Rolex.
She don't care.
I'm crying. So, what was your dream before having kids? Do you feel like having kids stopped you from doing anything? If so, at what point in time?
I don't feel like having children stopped me from anything, but I do feel like it slowed me down a little bit, and it made me a better woman because I felt like once I got pregnant and had you, I knew I had a lot of responsibility. And then when I had Peanut, it was more so like, okay, you got daughters, they're going to look up to you. You got to really be the role model for them because they're going to pay attention to everything you do and how you do it. So I can't say it slowed me down a bit. I always knew that I wanted to become an entrepreneur, but when I first got pregnant with you, like I was a teenager, I really didn't know how to go about everything. So that's why it took time.
Was back then abortion's not a thing? Because it wasn't like you was a 19-year-old that was just running the streets. You really had a future and things like, oh, I'm going to college, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. If I was 19 and got pregnant, I was going to college. Well, I was 19 and got pregnant, but I was already out of college by then. Because remember, I went to college at 17.
Right.
If I was 17 and got pregnant and I was about to go to college, it was giving abortion.
I don't think. I mean, of course, abortions were around, but that wasn't a thought in my head when I got pregnant at 18 and had you at 19. I was in a relationship, so it was like, and I was already living with your dad. We were already together.
Oh,
so
y'all
like,
was
what's the point of getting an abortion? Like, this is what you did, so now you're gonna do it.
Right.
That was never a thought. It was never a thought.
That's a strong brain. I would have been cut it.
Well, you you already know. I feel like when something comes in my life, I just gotta figure it out. No matter what it is, I gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
So that wasn't really that was never an issue.
But anyway, the question at hand before I cut you off, I'll be able to say stuff in case I forget. But the question was, do you feel like it stopped you from doing anything? You said it slowed you down, but it didn't really stop you.
It didn't stop me. It slowed me down. Right after I had you, I went to cosmetology school. I got my license for hair. I came out and I started working at a couple of shops. I worked at 2 shops. I was the manager of a salon. After that, I went straight to community college and got my associate's degree. And then I got pregnant with Peanut while working on, while I was working on my associates. I got pregnant with Peanut and graduated. It didn't stop me from doing anything. It made it a little bit harder, but it didn't stop me. And actually, it gave me a little bit more ambition to know that I have to get some things done in life now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got 2 little girls that are going to mimic everything you do.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it didn't stop me.
If we didn't have baby pictures and pictures of you pregnant with Peanut, I would really think she was adopted because I don't remember.
How do you not remember your sister?
I don't remember her. I don't remember her a baby at all, but I did see a baby picture of me holding her. But I don't remember Peanut before she was about 6 or 7. Like, I don't remember her before that.
That's weird because I remember bringing Peanut home and she cried and cried and cried. Peanut was the biggest crybaby ever. Like, the kind of kid you want to just be like, oh, what was I thinking? And you were like, when is this baby going to stop crying? Can you take her back to the hospital? And I was like, take her back to the hospital? You were like, yes, dude, when do we give her back? And you were 4, 5? 5. No, you were 4. You were 4 in August and you was turning 5 in November.
No way. We are 5 years apart.
Right. So she was only a couple months.
Oh, right.
And you just kept saying, when are we taking her back? When are we taking her back? And it was like, wow, I really got to get through to this kid that this is ours. We have to keep her. And then when I told you that, I was like, we keep her. She don't go back to the hospital. And you was like, forever? And you was walking around with your hands on your ears because she cried so much. But yeah, she was a crybaby.
So fast forwarding, me and Peanut grown at this point. What was it like starting all the way over with Dair? Because I was, 22 when Dair was born?
Dair. So, I might as well get to the point about my age. I ain't even gonna lie no more. Y'all bringing Dair into it now.
Y'all definitely gonna want to watch this because this lady been saying that she's been
I never tell anybody my real age.
She's been 30,
11. So I am, how old am I?
Yeah.
46.
Wow.
I'm
that just gave me chills you saying it.
I'm 46 years old. What
the
the
world
hell?
knows it.
Okay, so I'm 46. I had Dair at 41 years old. Whew, you didn't ask me about abortion then. It's like, no. It was a surprise. Not that I wanted it to be, but it just happened. And it was just like, I just remember running to tell Dair's father, like, hey, I'm pregnant. And he was like, what? By who? What kind of question was that?
By who?
Like, I'm just out here. And I was just like, yo, I don't know. This is crazy. Like, I'm too old for this. I was 41 years old. And I'm like, I told him, I don't want a baby. I'm not having a baby. And he was like, oh, yes, you are. Like, that devastated me. I said, I'm not having a baby.
I remember.
So should I go into how this went down?
Get into it.
Child. May the Lord forgive me. However, I came in, asked Diamond to take me this was my whole plan. I wanted to get an abortion with Dyer.
Behind
I'm
his dad's
so
back.
glad that I did not do this to my baby. I wanted to get an abortion. The thing was, when I found out I was pregnant, before I even told his dad, I had already made the appointment. I called Diamond and asked her to take me to the doctors, and she didn't even know that I was pregnant. I had Diamond take me. I said, take me downtown, drop me off here, and I'll be right back out.
At this point, y'all, I'm 22. So all my friends, everything done happened already. My friends that had abortion, I've been to the same place, dropping the front door. She gonna say, take me here. Like,
I said, drop me off on this corner. I'm gonna walk down the street to my doctor's office, and I'll be right back.
Hold
She
on.
pulls up in front of the place. And I'm like, what the hell? She didn't even say nothing. I got out. I went in. I talked to them, made the appointment. I did all the stuff that you do beforehand. They gave me an appointment to come back on Wednesday to get the procedure done. So when I walk out the place, Diamond's sitting in her car. I get in the car. She said, Mom, are you pregnant? I like this shit on myself. I was so scared. You would have thought like Diamond was my mother. I was scared to tell her that I was pregnant. My heart was beating so fast. I was sweating. I could remember this like yesterday, and I'm like, Diamond, I'm pregnant. And she was like, oh my God, Mom, you can't get rid of the baby. And I was just like, Diamond, I am not having no baby at 41 years old. And she's like, Mom, you gotta keep the baby. You can't do this. You can't. Whatever. We get in the car. We ride home. This has been the quietest ride home ever. Neither one of us said nothing to each other.
I was disappointed.
She was so upset with me. Like, when I got out the car, she didn't say bye, nothing. Like, I just slammed the door, just left. Came in, and that's when I told Diane's dad. He was just like, you're not getting an abortion. You're keeping the baby. That Wednesday morning, the morning of the appointment, I got up, got in the shower, got dressed. I'm ready to go to my appointment. Like, I'm going to get this done. Dyer's dad said, you're not getting rid of the baby. We're not going. And I'm still tussling with him like, yes, I am. You don't understand. I can't do this. I said, we got businesses in place, and I'm trying to get things, off the ground. I don't have time for this, and money's not right now. And it was just a lot. And I thank God to this day, because my mom, Diamond, and Dyer's dad begged me to keep Dyer. So Dyer is here, 46 with a 5-year-old. Love him to death. He is the most smartest little boy ever.
Genius.
I mean, since he was 3 years old, he's reading, doing multiplication. He's brilliant.
So do you feel like, how was having Dyer in the middle of entrepreneurship? Because around this time was that like when you first really started like with the entrepreneurship? Because I remember you working in like a couple of hospitals. You have all the degrees. Like, you could have been anything.
So, really. Yeah. So Dyer was born in 2018. Around that time, I had Discover Our World Academy, but we didn't have a building yet.
Right.
So I was doing nanny care. You learn to make things work.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find a building. Money was tight. I did nanny care, where I actually hired girls to go out and work in the homes of people who needed nannies. And that was Discover Our World Academy, basically. And I did that until we was able to find a building. 2019 is when we opened. Dyer was born in 2018. During the whole pregnancy, I was running back and forth to my building at Discover World Academy, helping, talking to the contractors, trying to get everything in place. And really didn't know what I was getting myself into, because at the same time, we were in the midst of opening Red Soul. Mm-hmm. So we had Red Soul Salon and Discover Our World Academy being worked on at the same time, both businesses. And when I say both businesses needed L&I licenses for everything, we had to get contractors to come out to do both buildings. It was so stressful. It was a lot. I would never recommend that anybody do two businesses at one time. It really was way over. Mm-hmm. It was a lot.
So getting back into like, right after you had Dyer, what was okay, when somebody first have a baby, you normally have like a maternity leave. How long did you wait after having Dyer to jump right back into business?
I didn't wait 4 days. 4 days. Out the hospital, after having a cesarean, 4 days. Dyer was 4 days old. I handed him to my mom. I said, you got to help me. You got to hold him down, because I got things that I got to do.
Yes.
I was in the center with a pillow over my stomach, linked over, explaining to the contractors what I wanted done. And they were still in there working and everything. I went there every single day, how to lay my floors, where I wanted certain things on the wall, how big I wanted the bathroom, how big I wanted the office. I worked every day until that place came to what I needed it to be.
How is it that like what? Okay, aside of your kids, what keeps you going? Because Dyer wasn't the only. I would say Dyer because it was so unexpected, you know.
Yeah.
But other than Dyer, what happened? What else happened in your life that you feel like was like a pause? Was there any pause for you? Because it was a pause for me, for you.
I had a pause when I found out that I had cancer.
Yes.
So that was before Dyer though.
I know it was before Dyer, but you know
I
how
stopped,
you said 4 days later you just took him to Nana and it was like, I gotta keep going. Like, what keeps you going like
let me
that?
just tell you, having cancer, when somebody tells you that you have cancer, you know, most people break down at that point. I felt like this was, you said I'm most people?
Yes, because you told me right before I was leaving for college.
So I felt like this was, when I found out that I had cancer, I felt like this is a test. I felt like God was testing me.
That's really a good way to put it, because when you told me you had cancer, I'm like, let me prepare.
But this is why I didn't tell you and your sister until the day before surgery. Like the whole time that I had it, I didn't tell y'all until I knew I was going for surgery. I think we had just dropped you off at college.
Yeah, it was literally 2 days after I went for college. You had surgery.
And then I called you and said, hey, you know, I just wanted to let you and Peanut know what's going on. I was diagnosed with cancer. I'm going to be good. I have surgery today. Or was it that day or next day?
No, when you told me the day before y'all took me to college. But you had surgery 3 days after.
3 days after. And just basically wanted to let y'all know what was going on. I think when they first told me that I had it, like I said, I was shocked, but I was like, this is a test. Like, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to beat this. It ain't nothing. I'm like, I got kids. I got so much to do out here. I don't got time for this nonsense. Like, it was just a test for me. And that's the way I took it.
Yeah, that's the way you told me.
So
like,
that was another.
But we
gonna be good.
Didn't I say that? I'm not going to college. Like what?
I did say that. I said I got cancer, but we're gonna be good. We got this. Don't worry about me. But that's the main thing. I didn't want you and your sister to worry. So that's why I waited to the very last minute, right before I knew I was going to have surgery, to let you guys know. I still to this day don't remember how you got from college to the hospital when I told you I was going to have surgery. Like,
well, I had a car, but I just didn't have a license. Remember, and you was like, "Don't drive that car back to Philly without Amira." Amira was the only one that had a license. At the time, Amira had a boyfriend. She was leaving every weekend. Every single weekend. She left. The boyfriend came to pick her up. I said, I'm getting on the road.
wow.
And I drove down there. Didn't get pulled over or nothing. I drove right down there.
But let me say this. I feel like being diagnosed with cancer was the reason why I'm so strong today with everything. I feel like if I got over that and I can do anything, I felt like being a superhero. I feel like a superhero sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like any news that comes to me, I'm gonna get through it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just didn't have time to be sad, or I didn't have time to be worrying about what if. All I had to worry about was, you got to beat this. You got children. You got so much more to do. Like, I literally told my mom, why are you sitting here crying? Like, I'm not letting this beat me. I was like, I got too much shit to do out here. There's no way in the world I'm letting this beat me. My kids need me. So I think when I look at it, that aspect, Allah gave me cancer for a reason. To show how strong I really am. And I use that same strength in business and every obstacle that comes into my life. That same strength.
Talking about strength in businesses, I want to get into the trials and tribulations you had with opening business, because everything that you went through, somebody would have said, to hell with this. I'm not about to keep.
It was rough. So, like I said before, my allergies is bothering me. Excuse me. But like I said before, we opened up Discover Our World Academy and Discover Our World Academy and Red Soul within the same year. It was like months apart. The struggles that came with it, I tell everybody, it's always going to be struggles in business. You cannot give up. Like, even once we got the building together, Elle and I had to come out and inspect, we failed. The health department came out, we failed. We had to fix the problems, we passed. Once we passed, it was time to get children in there. Meanwhile, my landlord wants rent. You can't have rent when I don't have any kids.
Right.
That was just I just had to tell them, I can't give you rent right now. I don't have it. We were struggling. With the daycare center, yeah, it was a lot. We signed the lease in 2017 and didn't open to 2019. It took almost 2 years to get everything done.
You lucked up with the landlord that you got, because most of them be like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I guess, but then me, I don't know what to tell you, because listen.
I don't know what to tell you.
I can't give you something I don't got and sign the lease. You got to work with me now. I can't do this first, last, security. We're going to do 2. Pick one.
Right.
That's just how I am. You already know. But like with business itself, yeah, it's hard. But if you think about it, we did We opened our doors in 2019 for Discover Our World Academy. 2018 was Red Soul. We opened our doors in 2018. In 2019 is the center. 2019 was Discover Our World of Healthcare. So that was a whole nother business. It took 10 months to get up with all the approvals from Keystone and Medicaid. And I did all my own paperwork. It's a lot of people out here that open up home care agencies, and they're going through Liberty Consultants and all these other consultant agencies that charge you like $15,000, $12,000 to do the paperwork. All you got to do is read.
Right.
It's not... I guess if you got 15...
The thing about it is, all you do have to do is read, but some of that stuff you really got to read thoroughly.
Yeah.
Like, some of that stuff just be hard. Like, you miss over something. The steps could literally be in your face, and it's like...
Right, but who got $12,000 and $15,000 to waste? Because I could just read it.
Right.
You talking about $12,000 to $15,000 and I could just read something and figure it out?
Right.
Ain't no way in the world. And listen, I got the money now to open up a bunch of them, and they still ain't gonna get it. I'm gonna read it.
Right.
There's no way in the world.
Right.
But for the most part, like I said, all the businesses were hard to open up. That's not a business a business that's so easy to do. Even with the salon, I had to have my license in cosmetology. Mind you, my license in cosmetology expired. 8 years expired. I was not practicing. Daire's dad wanted a salon. I got to go back and sit for my state boards.
Right.
Sat for my state boards. We opened up Red Soul. Anything worth having is going to be a little hard, but you don't give up.
Right.
And even with the daycare center, we had 4 kids for like 4 months. We wasn't bringing enough money to even cover the rent.
Right.
Like, if I would have stopped, would I have 40 kids today?
Right.
You got to keep going.
Yeah.
Home health was hard too. You got to keep going.
Home health, I hear about that on the daily.
But let me tell you,
trying to open it.
Home health is no joke. Everybody think home health agency is sweet. Yeah, the money's good when they send it. Okay? Because they don't tell you how. They don't tell you how.
With no money on the bank.
Well, listen, PA Health and Wellness, I still ain't been able to get in with them because their portal, they're always closed. Keystone skips payments ungodly. So if you got payroll coming up, payroll is every Friday. You got payroll coming up. Say your payroll $30,000 this week. Where $30,000 coming from when Keystone didn't send a check? And when you call Keystone and they tell you, oh well, when you signed on it with us as a provider, we do have 180 days to pay on any claim, so technically we're not late.
Wow.
So where the $30,000 coming from? You better have some business lines of credit. You better have some money in your bank account and your savings. You better be able to pull money from somewhere, because the minute that you don't pay your staff, guess what? Right. You ain't got no business, because they quit. Yep. Nobody's going to work 40 hours or more a week and can't get paid because the business owner don't have money to pay you.
Right.
So it's a lot that come with that business. It's a whole lot. People don't tell you. All they see is, okay, everybody with home health got nice cars, nice houses, they going on vacation, but they don't tell you the struggles that we actually go through to get it.
Right. Let's get into businesses that you have now, businesses that you opened and gave up, just businesses, period. Like, let's just get into why certain businesses aren't worth it, why, like, trials and tribulations that you went through, like, you had to really see what's what. Like, certain things might be, a good business for one person, but it doesn't make sense for you.
So we're going to start off with, I think we already went over the fact that me and Diane's father, we own Red Soul, upscale men's salon. We also have Discover Our World Academy and Discover Our World Healthcare. Those are the 3 that are currently in operation. We had SK1 Logistics, which was trucking. Okay, so trucking was like a hot thing on social media. It seemed like everybody was trying to get into it. They talk about how great the money was. So what did I do? Jump into it. I went and brought a truck. Spent $48,000 cash on a truck. Wrong move. Trucking was a pain in the ass. I hated it. First of all, the CDL drivers, the men, they worse than women. They whine and cry about every little thing. I got to the point where I got tired of people calling me in the middle of the night. I think the radiator went on the truck. And it's not even that it was a bad truck. When you put a truck on the street, on the road, and it constantly keep getting all these miles, things happen. It just happened. And our truck was pretty good. We really didn't have too many problems. Or they'll call complaining about, the load is not ready, and I'm here, and it's cold outside, and the men just complained so much, it was unreal. Like, I felt like I was dealing with a bunch of little girls, and I got tired of it. Like, these are grown men older than me with CDL licenses acting like little girls.
Right.
For me, I like a business to be able to run itself. That was not a business that I can get to run itself. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not going to say I'm perfect, so there probably was some things that I probably could have did that didn't know about. I gave it 1 year, and I got out of it. we did make some money, but I don't feel like the money was worth it. You know, some months it was $8,000, some months it was $6,000 profit, some months, I think the most we ever made was like $9,500 in a month, which I don't feel as though it was worth it to me for the headache that I had to deal with truck problems. Gas prices was crazy. The people that was paying for the loads, they really was trying to lowball you. They wasn't really trying to give you no money. So I don't know. I mean, I hear a lot of people are successful in trucking. It just wasn't for me. I gave it 1 year. I cut all contracts and we were done. The other business, DSP Capital. So DSP Capital is a property management company that we had, where we were getting contracts with like apartment buildings. They got like 30, 40, 50 units in there. We would go in, clean them up, and get them ready for them to turn over to a new client. That business was a pain in the ass, and it wasn't worth the money. If I had somebody, I think because I try to do a lot by myself, but if I could have hired a good team of people to facilitate all the matters, it probably would have went a little better. You know, for most of the months was like around $6,000 a month profit. But I got tired of running to the places. Signing contracts, discussing the scope of work, and then sometimes I would get a call saying, "Hey, the people that you sent in cleaning, they didn't do this in apartment 111. I'm going behind them." I wasn't getting enough help. So again, I told Dyer's dad, this is not working for me because I'm not getting enough help. You don't have time. I don't really have time. I'm cutting the contracts. So the business is closed. It's not, you know, if I ever wanted to revamp it, I can. I still own it. But for now, it is closed, and I don't plan on doing anything with it further. I do have another business that's coming down the pipe, which should be good for 2024. But like again, like I said, my thing is I like to create businesses that can run itself. Like today, the daycare center's open. All my children are in place. My teachers are there. My mom, she runs the daycare center along with my daughter, Peanut. So they know that they got to get up in the morning. They got to punch a clock. They know my staff, my teachers, they're taking care of things. I'm home. Right. This is me every day. Once I drop Dyer off at school, I'm back home in my robe. I go up to my office and do some work. Home health is running itself. You know, I got 2 good people on my team, Nafisa and Nicole. We come together, you know, when it comes to like staffing and billing and payroll and stuff like that, you know, and any little issues with the business. But these companies are running itself. So my biggest thing to anybody who wants to be an entrepreneur, work on one thing first. Get that one thing grounded that it can run itself. And then if you decide to go into another business, move on to the next one. Once that one thing can move without you. And when I say move without you, if I decide to book a flight tomorrow and say, hey, I'm going to Anguilla for a week, are my business going to be okay? Absolutely. Right. Because they don't need me. Right. You know, they call me when it's something, if it's an emergency or something, they want to run something by me. But for the most part, the businesses can run itself. They don't need me. Right.
How do you feel like the pandemic affected your businesses?
I wish I would have got that damn PPP because I done heard people getting this money.
I'm people. I did not play around.
So I don't know. The pandemic, honestly, when we first heard that we had to shut down, I was devastated. I was almost in tears. And it takes a lot for me to get there. And I'm like, what? Like, how are we supposed to pay our bills? How am I supposed to go on? This is all I had. Like, we had to shut the daycare center down. But we got through it. So mad I didn't get that PPP. You know what it was? I think everybody was talking about the PPP and the SBA, and I thought that the PPP was a loan. And I didn't want to go into so much debt. So I just was like, okay, we'll do one, but not both. But then I didn't realize that the PPP was something that could have been forgiven.
Listen, I went in there like, I don't care if it's a loan. I don't care if it's a grant. I don't care what it is. If y'all willing to give me the money, I'll figure that out later on down the line. Thank God. Thank God it was able to be forgiven. And I wasn't in no debt, but I didn't know that.
I didn't know that, but I did do the SBA, and the SBA helped us a lot because it helped us be able to pay rent while we were closed down. It did help me with some of my employees. I did help some of my employees, and a couple of my employees, I told them, like, listen, once this run out and I can't pay y'all no more, go get unemployment. Yeah. I'm not going to fight it. It's a pandemic around the world, so everybody's going to be entitled to unemployment. Yeah. So, I mean, that was that. Red Soul shut down. We couldn't do nothing with Red Soul. We didn't get hardly any funding with that company. But it was scary. Yeah. Because I didn't know. I'm like, how am I going to keep a roof over my head and pay all the stuff that I got? And I worried about, like, my credit. Because, listen, I done came from some bad credit. I know what it's like to be young and mess up some credit. So my main thing was, like, I have to keep my credit score over this 750 because I can't afford, you know, I got a lot going on. I can't afford for my credit to be messed up. So how am I going to get the money for it? but everything worked out.
That's the difference between like the businesses that you had are like more stable, like they're government funded and stuff like that, versus like me having a salon. Whereas though, like if I don't think around that time I didn't have anybody working in my salon at the time, but I feel like if once everything closed down, I worked through the pandemic. I done got hotels and took a billion clients in a hotel room and used it however I could, but y'all couldn't go get unemployment because I don't have a payroll.
Right.
So that was like good that you were still able to help out your employees, because if I had people, y'all gotta figure it out like I did.
Yeah, I tried to help them out as much as I could. It was more so like, because I understood what this pandemic was bringing, and it's like, wow, I can't just think about myself. My employees do have families, they have mortgages, they have bills, they have car notes. I had to think about them too. So it was more so like taking out this SBA and still giving them. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't able to give them their full check, but I gave them a portion of their check, like a good portion, like darn near 75% of their check. So it was like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you this, give you that every week until we just try to figure out what's going on, what's next. So I can't do it no more. And if we can't, then y'all just gotta go get unemployment, and we just gotta rock out
I
like
wouldn't
that.
have been giving them anything. Y'all better file for unemployment immediately. We close today, y'all better go get it tomorrow, because this SBA is coming home. That's what I would have said.
I couldn't, because this is the thing. The SBA money was for the business. It was to sustain the business. And I mean, if I took a salary, yeah, mine had to come out of that too.
Yeah.
But it was basically to keep the business running, to keep the electric going, keep the rent paid. It was for the business.
So you had to pay rent through the pandemic.
Yeah, but he was pretty lenient. He didn't require the whole thing.
That is where you get into choosing the right bill. You know how like if you go talk to somebody and they just so money hungry, you can tell from the beginning it's gonna be a problem.
You can.
Like majority of people, like, I'm not a racist, but if you go most of these like Asians, they don't be caring. They're not giving you no deal. They're not giving you no deal.
They're not.
Or especially black people, Asians and black people, tight. Like, oh well.
But this is the thing. I feel like you gotta kind of like cut to the point. You gotta go straight to the point.
Yeah.
When I first signed the lease with Dave at Discover Road Academy, I just came out and told him what I'm trying to do. And I was like, I need build out time. I need almost a year build out time with no rent.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, I know what I got to get in place. I already have contractors. I already have my electricians. I already know what got to be done. I need a year build out time. And I said it might even go past a little bit past a year, because this is a dirt basement. There's nothing in here. We didn't have no electric, no water, no toilets, no doors. Everything had to be built out completely in there. And I said, on top of that, you're asking me for 4 months rent. That was $12,000 up front. I mean, 3 months rent, $12,000 up front. He got that, but it was just like, you got to be able to talk to your landlord or whoever it is that you're trying to rent from and let them understand your vision and what you're trying to do. And even once we got up and running, like I said, we only had 4 kids. I told Dave, we got 4 kids. I need a couple more months to get this done. And good thing that he was understanding. But the same thing with Re-Sold. I came and told them, I don't have 3 months up front. That's because I was doing Discover Road Academy. I don't have 3 months up front. Whatever the rent is, I got 2 months. I got a security deposit in the first month. We're going to worry about last because I'm going to be here for a while. I want a 5-year lease. I want to pay 2 months up front. And I'm going to need 6 months build out time. And that's when you'll start getting rent.
Right.
You got to be upfront. You got to let people know what it is that you want. Because if you don't, they just going to tell you what they want, and that's just going to be it.
But that's the difference between getting a building where somebody who has multiple buildings, so they understand. If you go to somebody that's like, oh, this is their first thing, they just trying to rent it out. They're not trying to hear that because they want to start collecting some type of profit.
Absolutely. And I went to like Re-Sold. They own a bunch of properties. They own apartments. They own commercial properties. Dave too. He owns that whole thing right there on he owns the urgent care, Illuminated Hearts, the cleaners, and all 12 apartments at the time.
What's the business that's called? Remember we was looking at when I was first looking at a shop. What is it?
Yentis Realtor.
Like stuff like that. Like whereas though they have
a lot.
A realtor company. Like, oh, we have multiple businesses for you to properties for you to choose from, opposed to looking on like a Craigslist
where you just have one. Because think about it from a business perspective for yourself. If you were the owner of a commercial property, or even if you had a 3-bedroom house you were renting, and that's your only 3-bedroom house, you're not trying to negotiate with nobody. And you're going to be on top of everything. Like, oh, I need this now. Right. I need first, last, and security. How long lease? How long you want to lease? You want that right up front. People that in a little bit better position, they negotiate a little bit better.
Right.
And I'm not gonna say that for everybody, because I know when I first started Discover Our World Academy, if somebody came in and couldn't afford the rate that I had, I would give them a discount just to get their business, because I was just starting. Now, it's nothing you can say to me to get a discount.
Yeah.
Go to Tiny Tots down the street. I'm not trying to hear it. My number is my number. If you can't afford my number, then you just got to go get your bag up.
Right.
That's it.
Right. So, we're going to get into, remember how you said you paid $40,000 for a truck and that was a bad move? Mm-hmm. Let's get into a little help for entrepreneurs, because when you were first starting, I'm sure you didn't think from the very beginning, oh, this is the way that the white people keep their money, because they spend the bank money.
Right.
Let's get into that a little bit. Off the bat, can you think of any banks that beginners will go to?
So for beginners, if you're an entrepreneur and you're just getting started, and when I say just getting started, I don't really know any banks that do less than 2 years. There are some out there of being in business. Like with KeyBank, if you've been in business 6 months, you can't get a business credit card. You need to have your tax EIN, your LLC. They're going to ask you how much did the company make, year to date. They're not going to ask for profit and loss statements, but if you have them, it will be good. For people who have been in business for at least 2 years and you're trying to build your business credit, the first thing I do is, I'm going to tell you, you need to have your own personal business, your personal credit in place. So you need to have at least a 680 credit score or better. The banks look at that because they want you to personally guarantee whatever it is you're taking out for your business. Mm-hmm. If they see that you have bad credit, they're not going to give you any business credit, because if the business can't afford to pay it, they want you to be able to pay it.
Right.
And if your credit's bad, they don't see you as somebody reliable that's going to pay it. So KeyBank is a good bank to go to if you're trying to get something under $50,000 without showing proof of your annual taxes. They're just going to want you to have a credit score of 680. Tell them how much you made. Make sure it is a legitimate business and you have things in place like a professional email address. Don't go in there with a business and the ending is Yahoo or Gmail. Mm-hmm. You can, what is the other bank? Truist. Truist is another good bank. Truist Bank, they have business lines of credit and they have business credit cards for new entrepreneurs. Again, you need your tax EIN, that letter from the IRS showing what your EIN number is, and they want to see your articles of incorporation. That's your LLC. Make sure it's at least 2 years old. You go in there with ID, tell them how much your company made, give them your email address. It would be great to have a website, because a lot of times these businesses do Google you and they try to look to see if you are a legitimate business.
Right.
But the more information that you have on your business, the better chances. But like I said, if you want something over $50,000 a year, that's when they start getting into your real business. Mm-hmm. Like PNC, I know I went in PNC before Citizens Bank. When you start asking for $100,000, $70,000 bank, when I tell you, I felt like I was giving up my whole life information just for $150,000.
Right.
They like, we need bank statements. We want to see how much money is coming in and out the bank, how much your average balance is in the bank for the businesses. They wanted, the profit and loss statements. They wanted, if you get W-2s, a W-2. Most people don't get W-2s when you're self-employed, unless if you are S corp. I hear if you're S corp, you take a salary. But being a single member LLC like myself, my salary comes from after all the deductions are written off. So it'll say adjusted gross income, and that's how much you made for the year. Right. But a lot of them, they don't require a whole lot of stuff. But if you got your stuff in place and it makes sense, they'll give you the money. Right. Banks are in the business to lend money. They want to lend you money.
So I see a lot of people on Instagram. People charge like between $400 and $500 to give a business EIN and LLC. I wanted to make clear that your EIN is free. Just go on the website, fill out, you get it for free. Now the LLC, I remember my LLC so long ago. It cost like $125.
I just did one last night.
It was $125. Right? $125.
But this is the thing. Let me just explain this. People who, it's not about what we're charging, because I've charged people before too to put together a business.
Of course.
It's my time.
Yeah.
The LLC itself is only $125, and like you said, the tax EIN is free. The DUNS number is free. The DUNS number is what they use for business credit. I don't even know if they still use DUNS number.
Yeah, they do, but you gotta call and let them know, like, your credit will not be used, like, for instance, like Uline being one to build your business credit. it won't build your business credit by you just paying it off. You got to call them and say, hey, I want to pay this off. My DUNS number is this. And that's the only way that it'll get recorded. Because if not, you'll just be paying it off for no reason and it won't record to your credit at all.
That's good to know. That's a net 30 account.
Yeah.
But like I said, all of that stuff is free. And the LLC is $125. But it's like when I have to actually sit there and use my time to create something for you, this is why a lot of people are charging $500 to do, because they'll do like the tax EIN, the LLC, the DUNS number, and that's $500 to set up your business. You'd be surprised how many people don't know how to set up a business, and they're willing to pay.
It's not even that you don't know how, you just don't read, because everything is there.
That's a problem, but
some people don't have the time. So if you don't have the time, I get it. You don't got the time, you got the cash, pay somebody. But for brand new businesses, you barely have money on your own. Why are you paying somebody for that? Now, if you somebody that got multiple businesses, it's like, I'm here. I don't even have the downtime to do it, but I got this $500, let me just pay.
It takes less than, I just did it last night. I went online last night. I did a new LLC, a new tax EIN, created the business name, got the business logo, everything. Just last night, I did a Facebook page for the company, TikTok page for the company, Instagram page for the company, just putting things in place. We got a domain name already. The website is going to be done in the next couple days. We got the professional email address done. Like literally put together this entire business yesterday. It took less than an hour to put everything together. Right. Less than an hour for a brand new business. Yeah. So it's like the information is out there. It's not hard to read it and understand it. But you know, think about it from this perspective. If you're a new entrepreneur and you don't know anything, you don't want to do anything wrong. And you're worried about if you read something or misinterpreted something, and then you might have checked the box that wasn't supposed to be checked. Mm-hmm. So they might find it easier to just pay somebody to set the business up for them, because I really don't know what I'm doing, even if I did read it. Right. So I mean, that's really all it is.
No, I can say that it's a lot of stuff that I might read. I can read it 1,000 times, and I'll still call you like, what does this mean? After I done Googled it, Google's still not making sense. But that's why it's good when you open up a business to have, that support, or pay for that support if you need it. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So that nothing's done incorrectly. It could also save you. I feel like a lot of people today, if you start a new business, it's important to have a mentor. Mm-hmm. Because that's the person you can call, whether you're paying for or if it's somebody that you know. Somebody that you can call that already kind of experienced this, so that you can not go over some of the same mistakes that person made. They can kind of lead you, the straight way to go. Right. Let's get into a little bit like the bank language, because if you go into a bank like you don't know what you're talking about, even if they got everything that you said, but you go in there like, I'm trying to start this, and how do you sound serious to a bank? Because a lot of different businesses, if it's not really government funded, or if you don't sound like you know what you're talking about, they're not going to take you serious. Like if I just go in there like, oh, I'm trying to open up a salon, most people think, oh, that's going to fail soon. You know what I'm saying? So what is it that you're asking the bank? Are you asking the bank for money? You mean the terminology? Yeah, like the terminology you need to be taken serious to ask for. Like say if it's not that great, I'm trying to think of another business that's not a salon. You can use a salon really, because salon is one of them that as an African American, you go in there like, oh, I want to open up a shop. I go into there right now with these individuals like, oh, I'm trying to open up. So this is the thing. I don't know too many banks that gives you money to open up a new business. It's probably some out there. I just don't know. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're already in business and you're trying to get money to like expand or working capital is basically being able to pay your maybe payroll, maybe to pay your staff while you're in the midst of running. Like for instance, Discover Alberta Healthcare, we needed money for working capital to be able to take on more clients. Every time you take on more clients, you got new staff. These staff got to be paid before Keystone cut a check, because Keystone normally takes up to 4 weeks. So basically, you're paying these staff for 4 weeks until that money turns back over from Keystone. So you needed working capital. So depending on what you're asking for when you go into the bank, like I said, if you're a new business, you can go in there and ask for various things. They have lines of credit, they have business credit cards, and they have loans. But for the most part, I think that if you are a new business, you probably got to go the personal route to get the money. I was just about to say that. Now, the difference between a personal loan and a line of credit, the line of credit is always going to be open to you. Right. So meaning, if they give me $100,000 and I take out $20,000 to help with my salon, that means I got $80,000 left. That $20,000 is the only thing that you're paying on. That $80,000, as long as it's sitting there not being touched, you're not paying anything on it, because it's a line of credit. You got that 20. If you take that 20 and put 10 back, now you got 90. Right. Still sitting. You don't have to pay nothing on it. You only pay on what you're using.
Now, a loan, a business loan, or even a personal loan, that's different from a line of credit, because the personal loan, whatever they give you, if they give you $100,000, you're paying a bill back on $100,000, even if you're not using it right now.
Right.
That's why I always tell people, try to get a line of credit versus the personal loan, because you might not need that whole $100,000.
Right.
But I ain't telling the bank that I don't need it. Whatever you gonna give me, I'm gonna take it, because I'm gonna find something to do with it.
Right.
But I always say, like, try to get the line of credit, because you're only gonna pay on what you need, versus if you get $100,000 loan, you're paying back that note on $100,000 up front, even if you're not using it. And then the credit cards, I don't know, some people prefer like business credit cards that give you like bonuses, like cash back, stuff like that. I like that for me.
Yeah.
Like, all my cards are cash back. So, I mean, that's a good card to have, something that gives you rewards.
Right. So, do you have any advice that you would give an up-and-coming entrepreneur as far as starting their business?
So, I would say if anybody wants to become an entrepreneur, as far as starting your business, you know, I write everything down in a book. I'm so old school. I get a book for everything that I want to do, like down to creating a name, creating the logo, the tax EIN, the LLC, the website, the domain name, the business email, everything. I tell people, take your time. It's no rush. It's like when you rush, so many mistakes happen. Another thing is, I know there's a lot of people out there that like to, I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do that. Do one thing first. Get that one thing off the ground, because that one thing is going to be your foundation from everything else. Make sure that one thing can operate without you if need be, before you go on to the next thing. Because it's like you spread yourself too thin when you're like, oh, I'm over here doing this and I'm taking care of this and I'm taking care of that. I don't feel like you're giving equal opportunity to each business that you're starting. It don't make sense to try to start all these different things. Get that one thing in place, and that one thing is generating enough revenue, and you see that it's moving without you, then move on to the next thing. I mean, it just only makes sense because I did things ass backwards.
Yeah.
Girl, if I lost weight, I lost hair, I was stressed out. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was too much.
All right, so y'all heard it first here. We're gonna get these plates out the way. Could you grab these plates? Because we're about to get into some personal.
Oh God.
So
It's Vaseline.
that's how I feel. So aside of business, where's that? She's in my room.
Y'all gotta wait a minute. These lips is ashy as I don't know.
So, what do you do aside of business? Like, what do you do for fun?
What's fun? What do you mean? Like what I like to do for fun?
Yeah.
That's a good question. It's bad that you asked me this and I don't have an answer for it, because the only time I think I really have fun is when I travel, and I don't do that a whole lot. I don't know. I don't have anything that I do for fun, because I'm always working. My mind is going 24/7 on business and wanting to start a new business and always wanting to do something.
Right.
I don't have anything that I do for fun.
The last podcast I did, I was actually asked this, and I was at loss too.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know. But you know what's crazy is, I said I wanted to start having fun. Not that I don't. Your lifestyle is amazing to me.
What's amazing about my lifestyle?
Because you have everything that you want. But I do feel like I also don't want to be your age and don't have no fun.
Wow.
You don't go out. She don't get a shot.
This is
drink.
the thing. Let me explain. I
You
did all this at a younger age,
I
so
know.
it's like now at 46, that kind of stuff does not amuse me. I was in the club at 16.
Right.
I was taking shots at 17, 18 when I shouldn't even been drinking.
Right.
I'm partied out.
Yeah.
Like,
not that a party has to be your fun though, but like December asked me, what do you like? What does your happy look like?
my happy looks like getting money. When I walk outside and I see them two Maybachs outside, I'm smiling ear to ear. I'm happy.
Right.
No, but seriously, I don't know what my happy looks like. I like to go out to dinner. You know, I go out to dinner a lot. I do. I probably should stop going out to dinner so much.
Right.
I like to go out to eat, and I don't really like shopping unless I'm shopping for jewelry. I don't really care for like clothes and all of that stuff. Like I buy that stuff, but that's not my thing. Like Dair's dad is big on that. He's the one to make sure we got clothes and the hottest this and that. I don't really care. You know, I don't really care about no clothes. I can't say what makes me happy. I don't have friends like that. I don't have friends that I can call up and say, hey, let's go to the mall, or hey, come over and let's cook. I'm gonna cook some crabs. I don't have friends like that.
Yeah, that was my next question, because I know outside of business, like I love being around family and stuff. That makes me happy. But outside of that, like, you know, outside of your family, like my friends, when I'm with my friends, I don't be thinking about business. It makes me so happy to be around my friends. Like, I just be happy. You could just like let loose, like even, and it's good that a lot of my friends are entrepreneurs, so we can have conversations like, girl, let me tell you how X, Y, and Z, and it do be pertaining to business, but like you don't have friends.
Do you think I'm missing anything by not having friends? I had one best friend.
The way you look, the way you make it look, no, it don't seem like you're missing anything. But I feel like if I didn't have any of my friends, because you and your best friend were actually friends for longer than
20 years.
We're longer than me and my friends are now.
Right.
And I cannot imagine not having my friends. And me and my friends don't talk every day. We might not even, we'll like, you know, connect on Instagram or shoot each other a text throughout the month. But I can go months without seeing my friends.
I have people that I associate with. Lauren is my friend. We don't talk all the time. We barely talk at all. But when we do talk, we catch right back up where we were. I don't have the kind of friends that we talk all the time and we hang out all the time and we share secrets. I only had one friend before like that, and that was Erica. But I feel like for whatever reason, you know, everything's already written, and I'm not like this so spiritual person.
Yeah.
But I feel like for whatever reason that we didn't make it to be friends anymore, that's the way God had it planned. So who am I to question it?
Yeah.
I don't feel as though I'm missing anything not having friends. I mean, I'm probably too busy.
Yeah.
I really am. Like, you know, I get up in the morning, take your brother to school, I come home, I have my tea, or I either go to Wawa and get my coffee or Starbucks, you know, and I normally come right in, I go to my office, I'll make a call to the center, check on things, everybody's good. You know, if Nicole got something going on, she'll send me a message, or Nafisa got something going on, they send me a message. But then for the most part, you know, I come in, I make sure he eats, he gets breakfast, and you know, I don't know, my day just go by so fast. I don't think I'm missing not having friends.
That's because that's what you're used to, though. But when I look at it, it's like I have a little regimen that I kind of do every day, or majority of the beginning of the week is slow for me, so I have more time to hang out or something at the beginning of the week. Towards the end of the week is when I get super duper busy. But I be needing that outlet. Like when I talk to my friends, it's like I don't know.
I can't say I can't say that I understand it, because I don't really have anybody that I talk to on a regular.
Yeah.
Dair's dad. I talk to him about everything. You would think he's like a girl.
Yeah.
This is the same person that I won't even let him see me take my weave out though.
Yes, that is so, oh my God.
Yeah, so look, no. I don't know what's up with some of you ladies that's okay with walking around a man looking crazy, because I'm not doing that. If my hair's not done, I'm going to have a key mark on, or I'm going to have this towel on. He's not seeing me walk around looking like a chicken head. My hair's not done.
Me, I don't care. You're going to help me take this wig off.
Oh no, we definitely ain't taking no wigs off. We definitely ain't taking no wigs off.
I will sit around looking any other way and I won't care. But I've always been like that. So
I don't know. I'm not for that. But getting back to the friend thing, I don't think that I'm missing anything by not having a bunch of friends or
unless
girlfriends.
You and your partner is just, I don't even know, because even if you and your partner are that tight, I be feeling like I don't care. I still need to talk to my friends.
A girlfriend.
Yeah, like he might get on my nerves.
He get on my nerves a lot, and then I just don't talk to nobody.
Now just talk to yourself.
I call you.
Yeah.
I call you and Peanut.
Yeah, but
you're my girlfriend.
I'm crying. I guess that's the perks of being a young mom.
I mean, yeah, I grew up with me and you grew up together, baby. Whether you know it or not, we grew up together.
Yeah.
We definitely did.
I'm crying. All right, so we're going to play a little game.
I ain't got friends. You think I'm going to play a game?
The game is called, it's 2 truths and 1 lie. You got to say 2 truths and a lie, and I got to guess which one's the lie, and then I'm going to go.
Spicy. And 1 lie. I've been locked up before. I had sex in the elevator. Oh my God, wait, what was it again?
Two truths and one lie.
2 truths and 1 lie. I've been locked up before. I had sex in the elevator. And I got 2 new businesses that I'm going to be starting within the next year. 2 truths and 1 lie.
The lie is sex in the elevator.
Why was that? How did you figure that out?
Because I know you got locked up. Because I got locked up in my school. Let's get into that.
Wait, why we gotta get into that? That I've been locked up. That's crazy.
So when I was in 11th grade, I went to Girls High. Girls High has never been the same since. I apologize to all the Girls High girls now. But 258, that was my class number. We were off the hook. I mean, we had a fight between my group of friends, and we were very deep in another group of friends.
That's why you don't need friends.
And
Getting into too much.
I think the initial thing was about a guy at an all-girls school.
I don't even remember what it was about. All I remember is you calling me saying that these girls tried to jump you.
Yes, so it was an ongoing thing. After school one day, we already heard that it was going to be a fight, and it was going to end up to be a free fall, I guess. That's what happened. Now, I had perfect attendance from kindergarten until that fight.
11th grade.
Was it 11th? Yes. So we ended up fighting. Long story short, the next day they was like, y'all all suspended. And when they told me that, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm going to school.
Like, I got perfect attendance.
And I was looking forward to a scholarship for perfect attendance. I wanted to go to Spelman. So I'm like, all right, nobody else went to school. Literally the only person that my friend Abby was not there for the fight the day before. So Abby comes prancing to school, and
Abby.
I don't know if that was the same morning or was it the morning before that they had jumped one of our friends on a bus. So I don't know if that was the morning before, if that was, I don't know. I don't remember. But I do know that once we got to school, I went to go try to scan my thing in. My mom and my aunt went to the front to go talk to the principal to let them know why I'm not suspended. And as soon as we got there, it was like, how are we all suspended? But the whole group of girls that we fought the day before was there. Literally all my people.
No, let me tell it. So me and Tanya, which is my sister, went to the school to go talk to the principal. That's what it was about. But I already knew things was going to be a little shady. That's why I had on Timberlands. I was going to stomp the shit out somebody. I already know it. We went up there. I had my hoodie on. I had my Timbs on. We went up there to talk to the principal. We stayed in the office. The principal is not there. They telling us we just got to wait. So next thing we know, we hear all this loud mess going on outside of the office.
Right.
So you know me and Tanya, we like, what the hell is going on? So we look outside the office. It's a big group of girls all at the end of the hall, and you standing in the middle.
That's because the officer was like, why you fighting them girls? Like, he was talking trash, like, look at them and look at you. Like, you can't be doing this. And I'm like, what? I turned around, they all at the end of the hallway. He goes pointing. So it looked like we was talking about it. They just came down there, and it was only me and Abby. So we just started fighting.
And all I know is I seen his fist just swinging. So me and my sister went down there, and we just started rumbling. I didn't care, okay? I didn't care because that was my child. I'm not letting nobody have one up on my kid. So we started whipping their ass, and a lot of these kids was bigger than me. I did not care. They put Central on lockdown. They put Girls High on lockdown. It was on the news. I did not care. I was not letting my kid get beat up. That's never gonna happen. So me and Tanya went down there and we started whipping ass, and it was what it was. We got locked up and we spent the night in jail. And if I had to do it again, I would. And we had to get a lawyer. Spent what, $5 grand on a lawyer. And we beat the case because they played back the cameras, and the judge said she did nothing different than any other mother would have did. She's defended her child. I was not playing. But I was pissed off because I know when I was walking out of there in handcuffs, I was like, nobody better not touch my daughter. I'm coming back. And I thought that my daughter was sad. She went out with her friends and went bowling that night.
That same night.
And I'm in jail. And I'm in jail. But I did what I had to do as a parent. I don't care. And if I had to do it again, I would do it again.
I was more upset that I still was suspended. I can't believe I went to school and
and messed up my perfect attendance.
Like, I came here so I wouldn't be suspended and go to class.
But listen, I already knew. I already know what it's like when a bunch of girls get together and want to act stupid. That's why when we left that day, when I left your Nana's house, I said, y'all better have bail money because I know I ain't coming back. I already knew it. I told her that.
Yeah.
I knew it.
My dad was like, just look at it like a vacation. I'm like, I don't care. He was like, your mom's gonna be okay.
I was pissed.
I said, I know she's gonna be alright. I'm still suspended.
I was pissed because it messed up your perfect attendance. But like I said, it is what it is. I wasn't letting no harm come to you.
Yeah. Then I already knew about the how I knew that was the lie, because I know about your businesses. You just said I'm your girlfriend, so you told me everything. I'm crying. All right, so mine is 2 truths and 1 lie. I got locked up before without telling you. I've been in a car that got shot at, and I had an abortion before. What's the lie?
You've been in a car that got shot at.
And
Wait a minute. Well, when the hell did this happen?
I was like 17.
You didn't get shot?
No.
Well, what? Why? What is going on? Like, what the hell? I'm just getting amazing with it.
The lie was I got locked up before without telling you. Why would I get locked up and not call you?
I don't know, because I think you got friends. You would have called Mira or somebody. Mira would have came and got you and still kept it from you.
If we was younger, me or Mira didn't have no money to get me out of jail.
Mira would have called her mom. Maisha would have came and got y'all and kept it. Y'all would have kept it from me.
I'm crying. All right, you got one more. I got one more.
So what I gotta tell you, mine?
You gotta tell me 2 truths and a lie.
2 truths and a lie. Okay.
Don't put it in the same order, Mom.
I'm not. I wanted more children. I wanted more than 3 kids. Mm-hmm. I mean, shit, I'm old. I still want more than 3 kids.
Mom, you telling me.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. All right, wait. Okay, so 2 truths and 1 lie.
Yeah. Don't give 2 truths and a lie straight like
I
that.
I know.
Do you really? You just told yourself.
Look, cut. I want to get married again and have a big wedding. I want another baby. And I'm gay. I'm bisexual.
The lie is you're bisexual.
Strictly diggity. How you know it wasn't 2 lies to me? I know I was supposed to have 1 lie, but no, you're right.
I kind of felt like they all was a lie, but but if I had to choose one, that one gotta go.
It's definitely that one. No, I am not bisexual.
I'm crying. All right, mine is I got hit by a car before. I like Christmas songs. As a Muslim woman,
I'm telling the law.
and I like coffee.
What the hell? That's a lie. You never been hit by a car.
Yes, I did.
What? How do I don't know this shit? I don't understand. See, we're really not friends. You don't talk to me enough.
We're not friends.
We're not friends.
Y'all cut off with everybody else.
Like what? You know I cut somebody off quick. Listen, we could have been friends 30 years. I will cut you off and get all the hell about you. No, but seriously, when did you get hit by a car?
I got hit by a car twice before.
Like walking?
Yes.
How I didn't know that?
Because it wasn't bad. I got up and went nuts.
What the hell? Y'all see this?
The lie was I don't like coffee.
You don't like coffee? You definitely ain't my child. How you don't like coffee?
The lie should have been on like Christmas songs, but
No, you really like Christmas songs.
I love Christmas songs.
Every year around Christmas, she want to be Christian again. I can't take it. She be so sad.
It's not the meaning of Christmas. It's like family, you know? Thanksgiving supposed to be about family and stuff, but we just be getting together to eat.
And we do that all the time anyway.
Exactly. I like Christmas because the matching pajamas, the gift wrapping.
Now just be Christian.
Shoot, I like the tree.
For Christmas.
I like the tree.
Okay, we're Muslim, okay?
You right.
Cut the bullshit.
So y'all, we gonna wrap it up with episode 9. It was a pleasure having my mom. Y'all know a little bit of insight. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know who y'all want to see next.
And make sure y'all follow me on the gram.
Follow her on the gram.
AIKAN.
Love on the lens.
Period.